All right, welcome to the video. This is going to be a bit of a lore drop for not only current tuba members, but future tuba members as well. My name is Johnny Mathis. I'm a former section leader of the Ola High School Marching Band. And yeah, but Sousa's, listen, there's a lot of lore to cover that we're going to have to break down. There's a lot of technique and etiquette I want to kind of go over and just some things you should know. And let's just get into the breakdown. All right, so the first and biggest thing I'm going to break down is got to be the carry position. Now, if you don't know, the difference between carry and playing is like identical. They're exactly the same thing. So when you're carrying the instrument, you're going to be looking kind of like Tuba Santa Claus right here. See, it's got a Sousa, and he's playing it. And that is also your carry position. That's how you're going to carry it. And then when you're at standby, you have your Sousa on the right shoulder when you're playing it. But what you're going to want to do for standby is you grab the bottom of the tuba, and then it's on this shoulder, but you want to get it over to your adjacent shoulder. So you grab towards the bottom of the Sousa, right here, and then you sort of twist and you pull the Sousa onto the other shoulder. The bell should be facing this way, fully this way. This is just for the sake of simplicity, and it's going to help your shoulders tremendously throughout your time playing the instrument. So yeah, just make sure you do that every now and then. Whenever the director is lecturing another section and you guys are taking a break, you can pop it on the other shoulder. It makes it a lot easier. That is the biggest thing. Just make sure, if you're a section leader watching this, you break this down for the rookies, and because this is very important. Next, when it comes to horn carriage, there's also another aspect that is extremely, extremely important. You want to make sure when you're holding the mouthpiece, your shoulder is sort of out when you're playing, and you have the buttons like this. This looks way cleaner. It requires more upper body strength, and it just builds some strength in your Sousa when you're playing it. You have your arm out a little bit. You don't try and tuck it in. Now, it depends if you're sliding or not. If you're doing a slide, it's going to be a lot easier for you to sort of tuck that arm in. But it looks a lot cleaner when you have the arm straight 90 degrees outwards. If you don't know what I mean, reference Tuba Santa here. So you see how he isn't even holding the mouthpiece with his arm, but he would be holding with this, and it would kind of look like this. I'll most likely throw up some pictures in this section of the video, but if you don't know what I mean, just make sure when you're holding your horn, you're not slouched. You have you're relaxed, but you're not slouched, and you're raised up. Just imagine you have like a string pulling you from the top. It's really bad on your back if you're hunched over with the Sousa on. That will cause some damage. So I don't have a Sousa, of course, and Tuba Santa is not really going to help with this, but let me show you. All right, so for this portion, I'm kind of just going to show you what I'm talking about with my feet and whatnot. I don't have shoes on, but that's just kind of for the sake of the video, and it might help out. So when you're at your horn carriage, right, let me show you that first. So you want to make sure you're at the proper standby, which is just you have your, and there's two versions of standby. There's the standby where it's going to be horns up like this, and this is the one every section leader is going to show you. And there's the Sousa standby, which is just kind of like a pretend stance. Anyways, just make sure you do that. There's two different ones. Both of them are important and for different use cases. Now, for slides. So for slides, of course, when you're starting out, you're going to be in your 45 or pizza slice. It might be called different things. But basically, when you're sliding, right, you want to really turn your body, turn your lower body. Like, it's hard to see, but my hips are basically parallel with the direction I'm facing, and my upper body is facing the camera. It's facing this way. Let me see if I can get a better picture of this. Yeah. So, watch. See, I'm facing you. Got my instrument right here. You can go backwards. So, just make sure when you're doing this, you have proper technique and be careful. Because with the Sousa, you're going to fall down if you don't do this the right way and you don't maintain balance. And if you try and hobble on your feet. If you try and go up and down, no. If you try and cross your feet, absolutely not. You're going to fall. So just make sure you're maintaining ski line, which is kind of your feet in a, let me see if I can show you this. It's kind of like this. Your feet, they never cross each other. And even when they do, you need to make a turn, they don't cross each other. If you get crossed up with the Sousa on, that is going to be game over, my friend. So just don't do that, and you're going to be good. Now, some other very, very important things. Whenever you're turning, you want to go the same way, all the Sousas. Because if you don't go the same way, someone's going to dink, it's going to be really loud, someone's going to fall, someone's going to get hurt. So whenever you're turning in choreo, whatever that means, all do it the same way. And for Sousas, you're going to have improvised choreo because, for the most part, it's harder to do some aspects than it is for other instruments. And that's just because we have a massive horn. It's 40 pounds, and doing silly plies or picking something up or kneeling can be a lot harder with it. Something you're going to have to master, even if you're a section leader or just a rookie. You want to make sure when you're going to take the Sousa off, you practice this. It's very, very important that you know how to do this quickly and most effectively. The way I like to do it is when I take it off, I have one hand up here, one hand up here, and then I literally just pull it up and put it down. It takes some upper body strength. You can't be a weak Sousa player. It's going to be hard, but you can definitely do this. Just keep that motivation in you when you're doing it. You're going to build that strength, and especially as a freshman, your back is going to get developed to where the Sousa wearing it, it's like nothing. After your first year marching band, it gets a lot easier, and it will be 10 million times better than freshman year. So, we've already talked about improvised choreo because sometimes, you're not going to be able to do what everyone else is doing because you have your 40-pound instrument. Now, if we ever get contras, this will probably change, but at least for Ola, we do not have those at the time of recording this. And of course, when we get there, things will be a little bit different. Musicality-wise, I'd have to say, just make sure, I know this is coming from me, and if anyone that I was the section leader for watches this, they're probably like, really? But you're going to be really splatty. You just are. But you want to do your best to have a nice tone, long tones, do, and just pretty sounds. I know as a Sousa player, you're going to want to play loud because there's not that many of you, and you're like, why does the low brass sound so quiet? And listen, I know I've been there. Just try and keep it a good tone. The band director's probably going to yell at you because you're the tubas. You got the biggest instrument in the field. And if any of you do anything stupid, they're going to see you. You got the horn on you, you're the first one they'll see. So make sure you're locked in, stay focused at all times. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. The last little bit here, I'm going to go over some lore, and then I'm going to go over some stuff for section leaders. So the lore segment. With the Ola Sousaphones, there's a few things you got to keep in mind. With you now, and hopefully for the rest of the duration of the Sousaphone section, you guys have a duck called Mr. Quacks. I'll see if I can throw up a picture of him right here. But he is your mascot, and he was passed down by me. But there's a few things that have been given to you guys that have been from section leaders even before me. So in our section bag, we have about 20 or 30 ducks, and each of them has been, there's a couple light extras that have been thrown in too. But pretty much every duck in there is from a former section leader, and it's just, it's kind of a tribute for every section leader and in the history of the Sousa section. And if you haven't noticed already, ducks are a really big repeating theme. We love them, and that is the tuba thing. You're going to like ducks by the end of it. So just make sure, you embrace it and whatnot. And usually, at least the last couple years, we try to have a shirt. And look, sometimes it's not going to be possible for you guys to get that, and that's okay. But section shirt's pretty cool. I'll leave some of my information below. We have some graphics if you guys need to use them. They're actually created by our members. Here, I'll show you some graphics. Now, not every year and not every Sousa section we've had has had a section shirt. It's just not always possible in the band season, especially for seniors. You get really busy. I'm talking extremely busy with homecoming and prom and senior test. It's going to be a lot. At the time of recording this, you guys are about to have a new principal. I'm not sure how he'll be. Mr. Ellis has just left and whatnot, but I'm really excited for you guys. And hopefully Mr. B is still doing really good things. But anyways, the section shirt, here's an example. This was my senior year shirt. As you can see here, we have the little tuba duck graphic. And we have the free Sousa's on the back. And this was actually made by Michaela Shabazz, a member of our section. So if you do need any graphics, I can send those to you. It's just, we have the little Sousaphone merchandise. And yeah, it's just like a little thing we do every year. And it's kind of been some lore. Now, this is probably what you guys are waiting for. We do have several hypes. Of course, you guys know the duck. But you also have, this is usually for the, there's usually a red, white, and blue day during band camp. Or it's even, just during the year, football games, whatnot. But whenever there's a USA theme, just remember this saying. Can't spell Sousa without USA. And you scream that. It's really funny. And that one we came up with a while back. And another thing, Duckzilla. This is our big inflatable duck. This was passed down from many, many generations ago from Avery Walker. He passed it down to me. And usually, if you're able to, he attends the homecoming parade, either as a member of the band. I was fortunate enough to be on the court. So we had Duckzilla with us at least 2 years, shown off to the whole school. It was really fun. And he basically gets passed down to the section leader every year, and it's the job of the section leader to bring him out at least once during band week or band camp week. This is the week of 9 to 9s, and it's just very vital you bring him out. He's the hype, he gets everyone riled up. So very fun, and it's something the tubas like to do. All right, so another long-standing tradition we kind of have is playing the song Sonic Boom. This is usually just a tuba thing, but this hasn't been done successfully, at least with multiple tubas in a couple years. Pretty much what it is a piece. It's also been called Snake Pit and a few other things. A lot of bands do this. It's usually low brass, but we have it to where it was just Sousa's, and there's 2 or 3 parts for it. It's usually the best members of the section play it. It's sometimes after football games or just after a rehearsal. Usually it's after like a home game. But if you don't know what Sonic Boom is, I'd look it up. This isn't something that's got to be passed down, but it's definitely something to look into. And for the more senior Sousa sections. So as a tuba player, another essential thing you're going to have to know is how to put away your instrument. So as you know, it unscrews from the bell, and then you're able to take that bell, put it down in the case, and then You take off the mouthpiece by unscrewing it, take it into all of its individual pieces, put them in the little container off to the side, and then you lay the body to where this part of the bell is lushly placed on top of the styrofoam or like foam material in the case. That just prevents scratching, and it whenever you polish, that's also really important. And speaking of polishing, this is also something very important. For Sousa's, it's the hardest job you're going to have out of the whole brass because you have the biggest instrument. Now, some sort of cheat codes when it comes to polishing is I would recommend polishing the whole Sousaphone at least one time a year. You're probably going to have three or four polish parties. Polish the entire body one time. And that doesn't mean the inside of the bell. That doesn't mean the inside of the bell. Like, you polish this part of the bell, but you don't go deeper. You don't go into this part. Just this outer shell. You polish this and the whole Sousa body about one time a year. And then every other time, it's just going to be the bell. It saves time, and you will thank me later. Trust me. Polish parties are no joke. Just make sure you have a lot of elbow when you're polishing it, and it's just, you just got to get through it. It's going to be hot, but you got to do what you got to do. Polish parties are essential, and you have the biggest instrument, so it's going to be shiny, and you have to have it shiny. So just keep that in mind. You're probably going to polish at least one time a year, the whole thing, and then the bell for every other time. All right, so this segment of the video is going to be for the section leaders. If you're not a section leader and you want to watch, that's more than okay. But as a section leader, this is kind of some of the things I like to do or like to implement when I was section leader. So when you're becoming a section leader for the first time, whether you be new to the section or if you've been there for a couple years, you're well established, there's going to be new people. And if there's not new people, it's still good to do this. But during the summer, I like to get everyone together and at least go out to eat or just hang out at least one time with your section, if that's possible. It just builds team bonding, get to know each other better, talk about just, silly stuff, joke around, and, trying to get to know them sort of more than just, oh, I see these people after school every day, Trying to be friends with them and actually just enjoy the time with them, because the friends you're going to make there, you'll see them everywhere for like 4 years and maybe even life. I see people at Publix all the time and whatnot, but it's really important to do that. It makes the new members feel good, makes them feel welcome. And that's another thing. If there's people who are getting drafted from other sections, which happens quite a lot. I was actually drafted from another section myself when I first joined. So you just want to make sure you make them feel very welcomed, take them out to eat, and try to not isolate them. Try to teach them so you all can be a better section as a whole. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's going to make a big difference not only for them, but for your section as a whole. If everyone feels happy and they feel like they're contributing to the team, it's going to be a big, big, big difference. Now, another thing, section leaders, is just make sure during football games you always have the section bag. That is for you to carry, not someone else in your section. Make sure you have it. And if you think you can't hold it for some reason, you can have one backpack and the other backpack on like the other shoulder. You can have it like that, or you can have someone hold your water jug and you hold the bag. Just, you got to hold that bag. That is your responsibility, and you have to pass that out. You don't want to lose them, because that is your task. All right. So just make sure you hold on to it. That's your job. That's one of the reasons you're a section leader. And then another big thing is it's okay to tell people like, hey, like, look, just try doing it this way. And then look, your section might get frustrated with you, but if you got the experience and you're trying to help them, just try to nudge them in the right direction. Don't try to be mean about it. And just be faithful and honest, and just like, hey, listen, you really should have your bell facing this way. Just try doing it like this next time, or tell them about their feet, or like, hey, tone it down a little bit. You're kind of splatty. Just it's okay to be. It's not mean to make you guys better, but that doesn't mean do it all the time. When someone does something good, just make sure you reiterate that. And again, this is a family. This isn't you're the dictator and you're taking over the world. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty big. So say you're a graduating senior. This has kind of been a trend, not just for Sousa's, but kind of every senior in the band. But it's tradition to write letters to the underclassmen, just like a thank you, or something to tell them, a way of goodbye. It's just a little thing, but it does make a big difference. And it shows the freshmen or underclassmen you really care about them. And, they can actually write letters for you too. It's not a one-way street. But yeah, just see if you can write some letters. It is hard, believe me, because you have a million other things going on, and writing a letter, it can be a lot sometimes. But try and do that, and it'll be good. Another thing is there's usually, during the summer, as section leader, there's usually a camp you go to. It's not really a camp. It's at the high school, and the director, it's kind of a team bonding thing. It's just where you work with other people, and you do like a game or something. You kind of hear how other people lead, and it's just a leadership kind of building thing and whatnot. And it's important to go to that. It's pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. But if you're having problems with leading and just like being in charge, it's probably your approach. Either you're being too soft or you're not being assertive enough, because there's definitely got to be barriers. I mean, if you let everything go, they're just going to walk all over you. And if you don't let everything, if you're super strict on everything, they're just not going to like you or respect you. So I mean, there's definitely a fine line to it. Just try to be the role model. Try to be the role model. Do the right thing. Play your music. You better know your freaking music, especially if you're the section leader. Drill is also really important. You want to make sure that your members don't just know how to get to their drill with you showing them, but they actually understand the dynamics of the field and what that means. That is another big job of yours, is for them to be able to read and like analyze the field, not just be given a die and then told this is it. You're going to go here every time. Like, okay. Make sure they know how to read the sheets, the drill sheets. You guys might be getting a new program. I'm not too sure. But it was really useful my senior year. I'm not sure what it was called. It was like called Drill Marcher or something. Anyways, it's like a digital version of the drill sheets where you can see all the forms and everything. Try to utilize that. But again, don't just show them where their dots are. Try and help them understand the drill sheets. So say you finally have graduated. You graduated as the section leader, and it's now your turn to pass on all of the lore, the goods, and whatnot. So there's a few things. I've given this bag to the tubas now, and hopefully they continue to pass it down. But it's a green little fanny pack, and it's full of ducks. And basically, there's like 20 or 30 ducks in here. It's not going to be around forever. So if you're watching this in the future and it's not there, just know this is kind of was a thing. But anyways, in the fanny pack, there's these little tiny rubber ducks. And basically, let me go show you. So basically, we have these little ducks. These little ducks pretty much just go to all the new members of the section. It's kind of like an induction thing, either at the end of the year or at the very beginning of the year. That's completely up to you. With the ducks, I mean, it's really just, it's up to you when you want to pass them down. I decided to give them at the beginning of the year because with the scenario I was put in, there was 2 brand new Sousaphones. So I basically just gave it to them, early in the year, because I probably, I don't know if I'll be there the last comp or whatever. I mean, I'll see if I can. Point being, you have a limited amount of time, whether that means you're going off to college or if you might be staying in Georgia, who knows. But as section leader, it's your job to pass down the lore, pass down the history. And if you're the section leader, you're going to have Mr. Quacks, you're going to have Duckzilla, and both of those things are just, they're tokens of the Sousa section. And it just goes to show we have a long-standing lore, and it's been a family that we've been building literally since the school opened in 2006. So just be proud to be a Sousaphone. You guys have worked hard to get here. Even if it sucks, even if you don't like your band director, or even if you're just not enjoying the section, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hot. It's not going to be fun all the time. But you got to keep in mind, look, you're making an awesome show. You're playing the best instrument, and you're making a big impact. There may only be 2, there may be 10 of you, but it's up to you to make that impact, every single one of you. So when you're a Sousaphone, just remember to stay strong and hold steadfast. There's going to be challenges, whether that be in your section, from other sections, or even outside sources. But just know we love you, and welcome to the tuba section. And it's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for everything you guys do. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, or just contact me. I'd love to tell you more about the tubas. But trying to do all those things, especially if you're a section leader, that I went over in the section leader segment, it'll be good. Yeah, I know I'm just blabbering now, but that's pretty much everything. Hopefully that helps. There's going to be a lot of things I didn't cover in here that are just basic marching band etiquette, and hopefully you can pick those up. And yeah, if you ever want to see me, I will be at UGA, and that's me signing off. Good luck.